SiteVisitor Match from Close More Deals is the ability to deterministically resolve the identity of anonymous website visitors. Here's what that means and why you should care. See, every day, people are visiting your website. They're actively looking for the outcome that you deliver. They're shopping you. They're looking for the products and services that you distribute. They're in your sales funnel. They're viewing your website pages and they're preparing to buy. Your marketing should be focused on them and prospects who look exactly like them because they are your quickest and surest path to profits today. But you don't know who they are, so you wind up treating your best prospects the same way you treat everyone else. See the problem? And you might be saying to yourself, but I can retarget them so I'm covered. Really? If you're relying on platform-specific retargeting cookies, you're letting those ad platforms dictate what you can do, how you can do it, where you can do it, and for how long. Pretty much everything. They are the silent, controlling business partner you never knew you had and you didn't invite in, one who calls all the shots and controls how much profit you can or can't make. And to make matters worse, they don't care at all about your profits. They're what's known as a powerful supplier, and they're driving down your profits right before your nose. More on that in just a second. For now, just realize that you don't have any say in this, let alone a vote, and that's not even mentioning that anyone at any time can simply clear their cache. And what happens to your precious cookies when they do that? Gone. So you have to start all over again from the beginning, and that's just a start because there are a whole list of other things identity resolution and SiteVisitor Match allows you to do that old-fashioned retargeting does not. Look at it this way. This is Bob. Okay, Bob owns different devices that are used interchangeably throughout the day. He visits tons of places online. He's going to Facebook. He's going to Twitter. He's searching things on Google. He's watching YouTube videos. He's also visiting his favorite sports team's website. You name it, Bob's surfing all over the web. To be able to market to Bob on a people-based level, which means you know it's Bob, whether he's on his desktop, laptop, tablet, or phone, using any one of his personal email addresses. The average person uses more than 4, by the way. And whether he's using one of those devices or email addresses on Facebook, Twitter, or ESPN.com, you first need to resolve Bob's identity because you're not marketing to Bob's laptop. You're marketing to Bob. You're not marketing to Bob on Facebook, you're marketing to Bob. You simply can't do that if all Bob is to you is a cookie that can disappear at the worst time and that only lives on one browser on one device. Make sense? So here's how you resolve Bob's identity. Here's how you transform Bob from a cookie into a real person. In order to resolve Bob's identity, we first need to make sure Bob is a real person and not a robot. And there's one thing we know about bots. They don't buy things. So when Bob signs up for a website in which he has to pay, we know he's real. And when Bob logs in to access the content he paid for, we can place a cookie on his browser that syncs up with his email that he used to log into the site, and that's matched up with all the other information we know about Bob in our identity graph. Things like his other email addresses he uses or the IDs of his various devices. Our identity graph contains the deterministically resolved identity of Bob and more than 260 million other U.S. consumers just like him. On average, we can resolve the identity of up to 80% of website visitors, which can then be matched to over 4 emails and over 3 device IDs on average per person. And that's a pretty big deal because now you can do a whole world of things that you could not do before. Remember what your goal is here. Your goal is to market to Bob. Your goal is to reach Bob. Not just Bob on Facebook, not just Bob on YouTube, or not just Bob on his tablet at Twitter, just plain Bob wherever he is and whatever device he is using. With SiteVisitor Match, you can. With cookies, you can't. SiteVisitor Match gives you complete traffic insight. Cookies don't. Ownership and control of your targeting data forever. Cookies don't. And we're just getting started. We're just scratching the surface of the things that SiteVisitor Match can do that cookies can't. SiteVisitor Match gives you a permanent record of your best leads, a portable targeting method that is platform agnostic, the ability to target powerful lookalikes across any platform at any time for as long as you want. True omni-channel marketing capability that even allows you to reach site visitors offline through things like direct mail, TV, or even radio. Site Visitor Match gives you sales match accountability, the ability to resolve a visitor's identity without even a form fill, click-to-call capability, dynamic inbound conversion, email retargeting without the need for an opt-in, real-time behavioral lookalike targeting that lowers acquisition and lead costs by 25 to 75% on average. And even with all this, we're just getting started, because what Site Visitor Match gives you is power and protection. Power over and protection from the 5 forces that you and every other solar company on Earth competes with for profits. I mentioned one of those before, powerful suppliers, which are ad platforms who essentially impose terms, conditions, and prices on you that are designed to drive up their profits, not yours. Site Visitor Match crushes powerful suppliers by putting you back in control, put control back in your hands so that your solar company can become platform agnostic and not live in fear of a sudden disruption or changing terms from a traffic supplier cutting you off at the knees at any time or for any reason. But that's just one of the 5 forces. What about the other 4? Site Visitor Match has those covered too, because it gives you a sustainable competitive advantage, an only factor that would make it nearly impossible to compete against you, because it gives you the power to know first and the power to know more than anyone else. Rival solar companies can't match your insight or your capabilities. Alternatives and substitutes for your services are no longer seen as an equal trade-off. Powerful buyers can no longer drive down your prices because you've been there every step of the way along their buying journey, educated them using powerful marketing insight. And newcomers to your market would never be able to compete if they're using outdated technology or outdated strategies like platform cookies or door knocking. Site Visitor Match helps you defeat the 5 forces by giving you the power to control your audience and your profits. That's why Site Visitor Match matters. It's the only factor that does what cookies simply can't.